We're gonna kick off today with top 10. We have top 10 this week. Shout out to TurnTable Charts. Hi, Belema. Belema is up. What's good?
Hello, everybody. I thought Twitter wasn't working. Let me not lie to you because I kept opening and closing Twitter.
Hello. Now we
It's
here. We here.
Now you know how it feels, Abby.
No, wait. Now I know how it feels.
I say we kicked him off last week. Man.
No, not even that. Like, I'm always struggling with Elon's Twitter, bro. Every time I come here, every fucking time.
Alright, man. Alright, it is what it is. We'll get into it. Kicking off today, man, we have top 10 TurnTable Charts, the only aggregate chart system currently in the country, putting together radio and streaming numbers. We have some activity outside of the top 10 this week, ladies and gentlemen. Olamide has 15 tracks outside the top 10, ranging...
Bombo clocks?
Yes.
What?
Outside the top 10, 15 tracks.
15 tracks outside the top 10. Then how many tracks are on the
How many not enter the 10?
Okay, wait.
The question is how many tracks are on the album if 15 are outside the 10?
Isn't it like 16?
It's 17, I think.
Oh,
It's
17.
Yeah.
So 2. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, with Kai, with Wizkid at number 12, okay, to the prelude with Fortune, around 80 to 90 region of the chart. So it's ranging from 12 to 80 to 90, roughly, for the 15 tracks. All right. Exact positions. Yeah, shout out Fortune. Exact positions of new entries and are ascertained following the removal of recurrent tracks on top 100. Next activity item outside of the top 10, we have Glory by Victoni, debuts at number 27. Shout out to Victoni on that one. Another item is Ribena and Showday's Goddamn hits a new peak of number 28 in its second week on the chart. How are you feeling about top 10, or at least activity outside top 10 this week? Victoni, 27.
Big shout out to Rabina and Sode. I mean, I know if Taj is on the speaker or wherever now, I'll be so proud of them. So on behalf of Taj and the Street Boys.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Street
Yeah,
Boys.
big shout out to them, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, big shout out to them. I'm proud of them, man.
Dope stuff. All right, we can dive into the top 10 this week. The top 10 kicks off with My Darling by Chella at number 10. Lifts from number 12 to number 10. The song led the chart for a single week earlier this year. So shout out to My Darling by Chella. At number 9, we have a song backtracking from number 6 to number 9 with Kiss Daniels, Aljana, featuring Odmodu Black and Bella Shmurda at number 9 this week. Okay, at number 8, a former number 5 from last week, Young John's Cheche featuring Ashake, dips from number 5 to number 8 this week. Moving up to number 7, we have Shea Vibes with Pressure, falls from number 3 to number 7 in its 6th week on the chart after topping the chart for 2 weeks. Okay, and at number 6 this week, we have Shali Poppy and Burna Boy with Lahore 2, rebounding from number 8 to number 6. All right, we're about to get into the top 5. At number 5 this week, we have Benson's Very Soon featuring Fola retreats from number 4 to number 5 in its 3rd week on the charts. And at number 4 this week, ladies and gentlemen, we have a debut. We have a debut with Famous Pluto's Ewo featuring Shali Poppy and Zeri DL. The trio are siblings, launching at number 4 on this week's official top 100 with 3.03 million on-demand streams, making it number 1 on streaming, and 10.6 million in radio reach, making it number 89 on radio. Quite the disparity between radio and streaming there. But that's fire, man. Shout out to Famous Pluto, the Ozuma brothers, Shali and Zeri, for that record at number 4 this week. And at number 3, ladies and gentlemen, we have a former number 1, we have Davido and Omale with You. Drops from number 2 to number 3. It leads the official radio chart for a total of 9 weeks with 73.5 million in radio airplay impressions. Alright, good looking for With You by Davido and Omale on that one. And this week's number 2 on the chart, we have Olamide featuring Wizkid and Daku with Billionaires Club. It lifts to a new peak of number 2 on the official singles chart in Nigeria. It tallied 2.74 million on-demand streams, making it number 3 on streaming, and 55.1 million in radio reach, making it number 6 on radio. Billionaires Club marks the second single of Olamide, the album, featuring Wizkid, to peak at number 2 on the top 100. Kai debuted and peaked at number 2 earlier in the year. Daku earns her highest charting single in Nigeria with Billionaires Club, surpassing the number 3 peak of Favorite Girl. Alright, that's this week's number 2, Olamide featuring Wizkid and Daku with Billionaires Club. And that brings us to number 1 on this week's Turntable Charts. But before we do that, let's do a quick recap on this week's top 10. At number 10, we had My Darling by Chella. At number 9, we had Kiss Daniel with Aljana featuring Odumodu Black and Bella Shmurda. At number 8, we had Cheche by Young John featuring Ashake. At number 7, we had Pressure by Sheyi Vibes. And at number 6, we had Shally Poppies, Lahore 2 with Burna Boy. At number 5, we had Benson and Fola with Very Soon. At number 4, we had the trio, Famous Pluto, Shally Poppy, and Zeridia with Ewo. And at number 3, we had With You by Davido and Omale. Number 2, Olamide featuring Wizkid and Davido with Billionaires Club. And at this week's number 1, ladies and gentlemen, we have the star-studded 99, Olamide featuring Ashake, Daycom, and Sheyi Vibes and Young John, logs a second week at number 1 on the official top 100 after tallying 2.80 million on-demand streams, making it number 2 on streaming, and 67.4 million in radio airplay impressions, making it number 2 on radio. It is the first number 1 single of the artist's latest album.